It never should have even gotten to this point. Red Sox fans, I think you agree with me. You'll also agree that you didn't want to spend $280 million over 11 for Xander Bogaerts. That's true, but it never should have gotten to this point. This should have been worked out long ago. Xander Bogaerts should still be a Red Sox. He should be a Red Sox for at least the next 5, 6, 7 years, because this should not have happened. What is going on in Boston? We're going to dive into the Chaim Bloom debacle. We're going to take a look at maybe there's something dirty in the water there or dirty in the coffee, because coffee's for closers. So if you see Chaim Bloom at a Dunkin' Donuts, tell him to put that down and go pick up a donut and shove it in his face, because this is not a guy that apparently can lead a major market team. I don't care about the 2 signings he did yesterday. Those go down the drain. The mood was ruined with that. We're going to dive into the fallout here around Boston. I'm not a Red Sox fan. I'm a Blue Jays fan. You know that, but I'm feeling for you Boston fans. And again, you're looking at the money. You're like, I didn't want anything to do with that. That's not the point. Your player's gone, and he shouldn't be. So let's talk about this again. We're going to take a look at some of the fallout around Boston. Make sure to leave a like, everybody, to support the channel, and subscribe if you have not yet. Now, it looked like things were going to be okay. Xander Bogaerts, Red Sox. This from John Heyman. Maybe John Heyman, right? I mean, at least he spelled the name right, okay? It wasn't Coke Hamels or Arson Judge, but he said the Red Sox are in heavy discussions with shortstop Xander Bogaerts. This was around noon yesterday. Well, that didn't go so well, because about 13 hours later, Jeff Passan reporting, along with others, that Xander Bogaerts and the San Diego Padres are in agreement on an 11-year, $280 million contract. Obviously, Red Sox fans, that's not something you want to get into. That's going to take him to his age 40 season. Through his age 40 season, that's a ton of money. You had the money. You had the money. You had the time. You had the opportunity to get to it before this happened. And we've been talking about that here on the channel. Going to leave. That video came out in May. We had the cluster F that I was demonetized on, but I didn't care. I was going for it. It was needed when it looked like the Padres were ready to pounce. I'm seeing it here on the other side of the country, far away from it, disconnected, not in their front office. I can see it coming. Why can't Chaim Bloom see it coming and cut it off? Again, some of the reactions, some of the fallout. We had Jared smoking about 11 cigarettes last night with a State of the Nation. What the F was essentially the tone from that. We had Bill Simmons, Red Sox fan. Thanks for everything, Xander Bogaerts. The Red Sox owners can F off. More from Bill Simmons. Here's what I don't get. Why not take care of Xander last winter with a $175 million range extension, overblowing him off and signing Story for $140 million? Bogaerts was an awesome teammate, proven winner, beloved in Boston, great guy. Why wouldn't you keep someone like that? What am I missing? Check, 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 check. All of the boxes on why you should have him back. And we'll talk more about the Trevor Story situation in just a minute. A Buster Only tweeting this morning, there's so much about the way the Red Sox handled the Xander Bogaerts situation that doesn't make sense. For example, they spent more money to sign Yoshida, a corner outfielder about the same age as Bogaerts, than they offered Bogaerts an all-star shortstop in the spring. We don't know what Yoshida is going to be at the major league level. Might be fine. Is he going to be 90% of what he was overseas? 80%, 70%, 60%? What's he going to be? We saw Seiya Suzuki. Looked like he was a monster overseas. He came over here. He's not the same guy he was over there. He was 50% of what he was overseas. Now that could still change. There's time. We saw Ha-Seong Kim have an adjustment period, and maybe Ha-Seong Kim is going to really turn the corner. Now we know defensively Kim is solid, but offensively waiting to see that come around. You don't know what Yoshida's going to be. You know exactly what Xander Bogaerts is, but you went with Yoshida here. So Buster Only on that. Ben Verlander tweeting out, the Boston Red Sox front office just continually lets their fan base down. It's ridiculous. Mookie, Xander, unreal. Pay your guys what they deserve. Right. This is not just this incident. This goes back to Mookie Betts. This is not a team. This is not a market. This is not a franchise that should be losing out on players like the Pirates and the Oakland Athletics and the Cincinnati Reds. This is not a team that should be experiencing that. Why does this keep happening? Robbie Hyde is throwing some sorrow into his coffee. At least Robbie's a closer. He's allowed to drink coffee, unlike Chaim Bloom. Again, the situation, talking about the Trevor Story thing. So we talked about the money that went to Yoshida. We'll think about the money that went to Trevor Story. Now, I know Trevor Story only played like 95 games or something like that last year for the Red Sox. And, he got hurt. What are you going to do? Well, is that going to be a trend? Is he going to be hurt routinely now for the run of his contract? Don't know. But if he is, well, that sucks. And when he was out there, he came to a total batting average of .238. The power wasn't there. Just wasn't the same guy we saw at those peak years in Colorado. So you had Xander Bogaerts basically be enlisted to help bring Trevor Story over, a player that obviously at this point Chaim Bloom was like, he'll be our backup. If we don't get Bogaerts, it's all good. We have Story. Well, it's not all good. So you had Bogaerts. It's insulting to Xander Bogaerts to go out there and have to try to recruit your replacement. Now look at this lineup. I'm sorry. This lineup, I don't want to say it sucks because that's a little extreme. Devers is amazing. We're going to talk about Devers in a minute. That's more to the fallout here. But we don't know what Yoshida is. Kike is extremely streaky. Devers is amazing. Jury's out on Story outside of Colorado still. Verdugo's all right. Verdugo's nice. Don't know what Cassis is at the major league level over an extended period of time. Bobby Dahlbeck looked like a beast for a minute. And then Bobby Dahlbeck sucked. Eric Hosmer makes you want to vomit. Christian Arroyo's a nice ball player. I don't want just nice ball players on my Boston Red Sox. I want everybody at least to be... Everybody has to be at least nice, and we're going up from there. I can't have guys that are just sitting there. I need better. McGuire and Wong, the catcher situation is a disaster. So this whole thing, you cannot. Boston Red Sox fans, if you are trying to sell me on this lineup, then you're drinking the dirty water. Here's the situation. Chaim Bloom. So Jose Abreu was Boston's number one target. Wouldn't that have been nice? He would have been your DH, right? He would have been your designated hitter. I think you would have Cassis, Hosmer. You figure you'd have a rotation in there. But Abreu was the number one target. That would have been nice. Couldn't close. Then we had Morosi tweeting. We'll throw Robbie up here. Again, we're going to give Robbie some love here. Morosi reported the Red Sox are a top suitor for Mitch Haniger. Well, that would have been nice too. You have Mitch Haniger in that outfield. Now, maybe if you got Haniger, you don't get Yoshida, but let's say you do get both of them. I think you've got a very nice outfield if you have Yoshida and Haniger and Verdugo, and you move Kike around. Kike can play the middle infield as well. So that would have been nice, but it didn't happen. So again, put that coffee down. If you see Chaim Bloom at a Dunkin' Donuts, tell him to get out. He doesn't belong. Then we had the Nate Eovaldi situation. This is where I start to wonder what are players thinking about the Boston Red Sox. Because Nate Eovaldi did not have a good season last year. ERA near 4, missed a ton of games. He's getting older. Listen, he decided instead of locking in $19 million that he was going to go out and go into free agency with that franchise tag attached, which can minimize your market. So he's not a top-tier pitcher. He's got a qualifying offer attached. So for any of the teams that went over the tax last year, that's 2 picks. He's not worth 2 picks. For anybody that was in the mid-level, you're losing 1 pick. Is he worth 1 pick in $500,000 international draft? Probably not. So you're looking at the teams that did not receive revenue sharing. And that's pretty much, there's a couple of good teams in there, but for the most part, it's the bottom half of the league. Really. So Nate Eovaldi thought that was a better plan than locking in for 1 year with Boston. And those players that Boston had high on their list that would have been key additions that really would improve the club would not go there. They decided not. Made me think that the players' fraternity is looking at what's going on in Boston and they're thinking, well, if they're not taking care of Bogaerts and they're not taking care of Devers, are they really going to take care of me? Are they going to be able to continue to build a winner? When they get good players, are they going to keep them there? There's a problem. And if you're a player looking at that, does it make you think, well, there's 29 other teams, and of those 29, there's 10 that I'd like to go to because they're all in win now mode. I'm going to look at those teams first. Haniger went to the Giants. Giants are trying to win. Abreu went to the Astros. Astros just won the World Series. Boston, you're not showing the players around the league that you're serious. And again, I wanted to pull that back. I wanted to retract that after the Kenley Jansen signing because that looked good, and the Masataka Yoshida signing, that looked good, especially because it had just been announced that he posted, and they zoomed in and they got Yoshida. So I was ready last night around 9 o'clock Eastern. We're doing winners and losers so far from the winter meetings with Borna from Hogwatch, and we're talking about the Red Sox as winners all of a sudden. Here they come. They're alive. And then it dies out. Now, Rafi Devers. Buster Only tweeting out this morning. Meanwhile, Rafi Devers' leverage in his contract talks with the Boston Red Sox just went off the charts. As with Judge and the Yankees, the team needs the player now more than the player needs the team. The Red Sox will have to tack on a Betts Bogaerts tax to their offer. The Red Sox, whatever you thought 300. That was the word. Let's go through that real quick. Again, we had the Red Sox are moving to, this was back on October 24th. Word was the Red Sox are moving to secure Rafi Devers' long-term. Ongoing talks with Devers' camp are being led by senior club executive who is currently in the Dominican Republic. Their goal is to sign Devers, who turns 26 today, to an extension for at least 7 seasons. Guess what? Guess what? 10 at 300, 350, whatever. It's up because he is now the piece. And does he even want to? Would Devers even do it? Or did Devers just watch what happened to Judge? Now, listen, let's not get it confused. Rafi Devers is not going to hit 60 home runs. He's not going to hit 50 home runs. He's not going to hit 40 home runs next season. But he is going to be a piece that a lot of teams highly covet. And there are going to be teams that are really opening up that pocketbook, that wallet next year because they'll be think about Ohtani. And any team that's all in on Ohtani, has $400 million to Ohtani and loses out on Shohei, if Devers is still there, here, have the excess money that we didn't spend. You know, we'll give you 80% or 75% of what we were going to give for Ohtani. You're going to have teams that are ready to spend next offseason. And now Devers, if he's smart, I don't know if he locks in. I think he should let it roll. Get the free agency. See how it works out. Just look at the Rays. Aaron Judge made about $127 million more by going into free agency. Rafi Devers sees that. Rafi Devers sees what Chaim Bloom and the Red Sox are doing. Go for it. Go for it. Go be a free agent. Get more money. Probably get out of Boston because it doesn't look like Boston knows which way's up. And if that happens, Chaim Bloom's got to go. Chaim Bloom's got to go if Devers walks next year because this is just one after the next and it starts at the top. Is it the owner? Is it Bloom? One of those two. If it's the owner, then Boston fans, you're just screwed. If it's the general manager, then Bloom's got to go. This is a mess because after this, we heard that the offer that he wants, the money that he wants is $300 million, and they were about $50 million apart. This was back on November 22nd. I'm angry for Red Sox fans. This was back on November 22nd. It's December 8th. They were $50 million apart on November 22nd on Rafi Devers. What are you doing? Rafi Devers, I'm sorry, but everything that Boston is doing, the money that Boston just spent for Yoshida, Rafi Devers is going to look at that and be like, why can they pay him and they can't pay me? Why can't I get that money? They just let Bogaerts go. to just let my left side of the infield buddy go. It's not good. It's not good. Comment below and let me know what you think. Red Sox fans, you have to be angry today. Forget the dollars that the Padres spent on Bogaerts. It's the fact that it even got to this point when it didn't have to. It has been an insulting situation. It has been a comedy of errors that Chaim Bloom has just one crap bucket after the next. Chaim Bloom keeps stepping in, and you cannot feel good. As a Blue Jays fan, I love this. This is fantastic. The Red Sox are not going to be as good. The Red Sox are going this way. Again, what are they doing? Comment below. Let me know. Am I crazy? Red Sox fans that are drinking the Kool-Aid, what am I missing? If you're with me, let me know. Pile on as well. Misery loves company. I'm with you, Red Sox fans. Anybody that has seen their homegrown players leave, this hurts. Washington Nationals fans, you saw it with Bryce Harper. You saw it with Anthony Rendon, Juan Soto yesterday. Washington Nats fans just keep getting hit one after the next. Boston's right there with you with Betts, now Bogaerts, and very well could be Devers. Now, maybe Devers signs in the next 5 minutes and we can retract the second half of this video, but why would he? Why would he? Unless Boston shows up 10 for $350, I don't understand why Bogaerts would sign an extension with Boston. That's where they got to go. 11 for $4. Switch the. I'm speechless. I've said so much and now I'm speechless. I've ranted for 16 minutes. Jesus. All right, everybody. That's it for this one. Make sure to leave a like if you have not yet. It's a great way to support the channel and lets me know that you are appreciating the content, and subscribe if you have not yet either. I will add some links to some of my other content for you all to check out here now. BALLCAP Nation, I salute you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming in and checking out the video. I'll catch you guys next time.